We are your Bison Nation station.
And number one for classic rock that really rocks. 107.9, The Fox.
Now, here's today's headlines with the Fox Morning Show.
On 107.9, The Fox.
May I have your attention, please?
What time you have to be at the radio station?
Like right now.
Like right now?
What is there, an echo in here?
So early.
So early.
We still got a job to do.
I get it, but why do you have to go so early?
Because it's called,
A Tuesday morning show.
So you see,
Morning is actually in the name.
Oh, right.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
It's showtime.
All right, yeah. We've tried to get management to jump on board and allowing us to call it a midday show so that we could do it in the midday or even afternoon. But they're not going for it. So we got to stick with this morning show.
We want you people there in the morning.
So here it is, the Fox Morning Show. Yeah.
But we get to leave by 5 in the afternoon, right?
That's about it.
Yeah,
Hey, we made it through another Monday, man. Here it is, Tuesday, and
Nice.
Not too shabby. We're going to see probably some rain today, maybe even a chance of some freezing rain, depending on where you are. But I think here in the metro, we're fine.
Yeah, we're going to get too warm down here.
Yeah.
North, they might get some crap.
Correct. That Fox forecast with a high in the 40s today, and then tonight, low in the 20s. Tomorrow, man, right around 50. How about that?
I love it.
Yeah, the rest of your work week forecast anytime at 1079thefox.com. We've got 36 now at 6:02.
Here it is, the 7th day of November. Welcome to it. And here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Governor Doug Burgum failed to make the cut for the third Republican presidential debate Wednesday night in Miami. Despite falling short after making the first two Republican debates earlier this year, Burgum released a statement and brief video on social media. He said, "Skipping the next debate isn't going to stop us. I've been told it's impossible my entire life and always beat the odds. They told me I couldn't build a tech company in North Dakota. We built a $1 billion one. They told me I wouldn't be governor. We won by 40 points. The 5 candidates who qualified, Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Tim Scott, met the Republican National Committee's criteria, which includes raising 70,000 unique donors, meeting a polling threshold, and pledging to support the party's eventual nominee. A Fargo man is accused of the sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl at a home in Barnesville. Police interviewed the victim in early October. She told them 32-year-old Jesse Meyer had touched her inappropriately in January. The criminal complaint said when Meyer stopped, he told her not to tell her mom or else. During the investigation, Meyer denied that he touched her inappropriately. He appeared in Clay County District Court last week on a first-degree criminal sexual conduct charge. Bond was set at $200,000 without conditions, $100,000 with conditions. He's since bonded out, no longer in custody. His next court date set for November 14th. Overnight fire damaged several garage units at an apartment complex in South Fargo. The call came in just before midnight last night. The fire happened in an area where Fargo cops say arsonists have been intentionally setting garage fires. It's unknown if this fire is connected to those arsons. Fire is currently under investigation. No other info is available or known at this time. An Australian city is using the Wiggles to drive off homeless.
Oh, the Wiggles.
Yeah. As with, cause and effect, though, now there is an infestation of clapping toddlers in the area, so they got to be careful of that. McDonald's sales for the third quarter grew more than expected.
Oh.
As did McDonald's customers.
Oh.
The new go-to selfie pose for Gen Z girls is scrunch face.
Oh, how do you do that?
You scrunch your nose, squint your eyes, and flash a grin. It's supposed to look cute, but if you do it wrong, you look like you're constipated.
That's how I would look.
Bound up.
We should try, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look bound up all the time, though. That's the...
Do you have resting bound up face?
I don't see a change. There's no change. Something to look forward to for the spring, summer. Next year, Heinz will be releasing a new condiment, pickle ketchup.
Oh.
And yes, it's their ketchup with the added flavor of pickles.
Well, hey.
So if you're a fan of pickles,
yes.
I am.
Yes.
I know some aren't, but I dig them.
Especially on my burger.
Absolutely on my burger. Yeah. And finally, the news site SFGate just did a big write-up on a long-standing rumor at Disney parks.
Yeah.
That people are so desperate to keep their spot in line at certain rides, they sometimes defecate right there on the ground.
No.
According to the article, it's true, and it happens more than you think.
What?
Other things Disney workers want guests to stop doing, demanding access to Walt's frozen head. It's not going to happen. Stop asking.
I'm guilty as charged. I've asked.
Where's Walt? As I'm chewing on my churro.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's your news for right now.
All right, headlines brought to you by Batteries Plus. At Batteries Plus, whatever moves you, drives them. Stop in or shop online at batteriesplus.com.
Or that pineapple whip. Have you ever had that?
Oh, my God,
Oh,
yeah.
my God, is that good?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Expensive as all hell, but still good.
so's the churro.
Hey, our Bison men's basketball team tipped off their season last night on the road, and they went to overtime. Oh, we'll check that scoreboard for you next in sports.
5 seconds to go. Wheeler Thomas drives, kicks. Scumberg for the win. No good. Burke to follow. Good. It's good at the horn, and the Bison tie the game. They will send this thing to overtime.
Oh, what a thriller for the Bison last night, forcing that overtime and then winning over Western Michigan 80-76. As you heard, Jeremiah Burke tied the game with a putback as time expired in regulation, and then NDSU put down the clamps in overtime, holding WMU to 2 for 9 shooting, and they go on again to win by 3. Now our Bison return home to host Mount Marty tomorrow at 7 p.m. So let's pack the shack for our Bison men's basketball team. Nice start for them. You bet. All right, also a great honor for a Bison football player, Jalen Sundell. He's going to be playing in the Shrine Bowl. Now, that's been part of the NFL journey for 14 former Bison greats. So he joins that small list of players that have played for NDSU and have gone on to play in the Shrine Bowl. So way to go, Jalen Sundell. Meanwhile, of course, our Bison team getting set to take on Southern Illinois, the final home game of the regular season. Senior Day on Saturday. It's also Veterans Day. So they're asking for a whiteout for the Warriors, all right? And we have a live jackrabbit. We got confirmation from our man on the streets.
Cute little devil, too.
Yeah. So we will talk to him tomorrow. We're scheduled to talk to our man on the streets tomorrow. So we'll get the latest on our new live pet jackrabbit. Meanwhile, it was announced yesterday, Josh Dobbs will start for your Minnesota Vikings this week against the New Orleans Saints. And Sean Mannion likely is going to be the backup because our rookie there, Jaron Hall, who went down quickly in this last Sunday game, is still in concussion protocol. He took one pretty hard on the chin.
Yeah, he did. And the back of the head.
Yeah, when his head came back down onto the turf, absolutely. So he's not ready to go. Our coach there joked that he would be the emergency QB because our emergency QB, none other than Cam Akers, left that game as well, and it was confirmed yesterday, the MRI showing that he did tear his left Achilles. 1 week after we just went through this with our quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Jeez. What's with the weak Achilles?
I don't know, man.
What's going on? So that, of course, is forcing him to miss the rest of the regular season, just like our QB. So we'll be without him. But everybody's still talking about Josh Dobbs and his performance, and our coach yesterday explained what he was saying to Dobbs in his helmet during that game. We've got that coming up later this hour. It's pretty interesting on how that worked out. Last night, Week 9 came to a wrap as the Chargers knocked off the New York Jets 27-6. Also last night on the hardwood, our Wolves in overtime over the Celtics 114-109. Our Wolves playing some good ball here early in the season.
Good to see that.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
And tonight we got the Wild on the ice against the Islanders. And that's your Fox Sports. At Fox forecast again today with some rain, maybe some freezing rain for some parts living north of here, with a high in the 40s here, at least in the Fargo area. Tonight's low in the 20s. Tomorrow, maybe around 50. Woo! The rest of your work week forecast anytime at 1079thefox.com. We've got 36 at 612.
If you're the oldest, do you like being the oldest? If you're the youngest, do you like being the baby? How happy are you with your sibling placement? Maybe you could sound off, too, finally, and let mom and dad know
there you go.
How you feel about the arrangement. We'll talk about it coming up.
Now here's the Fox Morning Show.
107.9 The Fox.
Dave, because I know it's kind of a complicated scenario or situation, but where are you again in the pecking order of all your siblings?
Not so complicated. The first litter.
First litter.
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
It's my brother Bill, my sister Deb, my sister Kathy, and then me.
Okay.
Yep.
And then there was a whole nother litter after that.
After it was about the time I graduated high school is when Dad adopted 3.
All right.
When he married Deb and had 2 more with Deb.
So you were basically raised as the youngest.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, because
Okay.
my informative years, up until graduation, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, the exact opposite. There's actually some older stepbrothers and sisters, but I didn't grow up with them.
No, and you're the oldest of your brood, aren't you?
Right. So in our litter
Yeah.
that I grew up with, I was the oldest with 2 younger sisters and a brother. And I bring this up because they say that some people aren't happy with their sibling placement. I mean, I don't know how you do anything about it.
I don't know. Is it mostly middle children? You hear them getting the poopy end of the stick a lot of times, or at least attitude-wise. They get looked over or forgotten. You're not the youngest, and you're not, the baby. And you're not the oldest and most responsible. And
Yep.
yeah, so you kind of get overlooked. You're the flotsam and jetsam of the children. You float along with the stream, and I could see that. Creating some issues.
We have 3 boys, and I will say that it is the middle one who makes the most noise when it comes to his sibling placement.
He does. Does he actually complain about being the middle child? Yeah, Chelsea's accepted her fate. That's our middle child. But she's definitely marches to her own drum beat, which I'm very proud of. But all my kids do, so.
Well, it says here that 21% say they'd want to be the oldest, again, which is what basically I was. 19% said they'd want to be the middle child, and 18% say they'd like to be the youngest, like you.
Yeah. How many of those wanted to be an only child, other than the only children?
Only 11% say that they'd want to be the only child.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd like that.
You can tell when you're dealing with somebody that grew up as an only child.
Oh, God, yeah.
Can't you?
My wife.
They don't like to share their toys. They don't like to share anything.
It took a long time before I had my wife realizing that, you know what? I share this bedroom with you, okay? So pick up, okay? You're not the only one sleeping in here.
Now here's the Fox Morning Show.
107.9 The Fox.
Oh, man, this has been kind of a hot topic for a little while now. But most American workers say they could do the same amount of work in 4 days rather than 5. I don't know if I'd be shouting that out too loud.
Yeah, what's the old saying? How long have I been working here? Ever since they threatened to fire me.
Yeah, right? Yeah. 76% of American workers say they could complete all their work within 4 work days rather than 5 because they are only productive for about 31 hours per week as is.
Wow, I don't know. Is it a slippery slope when you're talking about 4-day work weeks? Because, it's like once you go down there, now everybody's going to be slacking off for it's like moving the speed limit up to 85.
Yeah, because now you're going 90.
Now you're going to go 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to abuse it.
Yeah.
So I worry about stupid stuff like that, because I'm all for it.
Well,
Why can't we have 3-day weekends? There's tons of jobs out there, but I'm talking social norm across the country.
Yep. But do you think, if it ever came to that, because let's face it, there are those days, whether it's a Monday when you're just getting into work or maybe it's a Friday, you kind of have a day where you slack off.
Absolutely.
And depending on what kind of business you're in.
Yep.
So do those kind of days go away? Does that office crockpot party go away because we don't have time now? We have to get done in 4 days what we were doing in 5.
Now we're all stressed out. Is that going to add stress?
Right.
Instead of taking it away and making our lives easier.
Right.
I don't know. We don't know. I don't know.
Right.
Talk to the people that do the 12-hour shifts 4 days a week.
Yeah.
If a lot of the dudes, buddies of mine, women, I say dudes in general, they love it. They're like, man, I love having my 3-day weekends. But not all workplaces can obviously do that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Or maybe you're in a job situation where you're busy right away, but then maybe the last half of the day not so busy, or vice versa. So does that stuff go away because now you have to accomplish so much more in a smaller amount of time?
I would think that, the amount of business is going to be the same, whatever your widget that you're producing or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same work week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Are you cool with that? I think I would be.
Well, we're in a situation where to go along with whatever the norm is. So if the norm is a 5-day work week, well, we're here every work day, right?
Right.
But if the norm does become 4-day work weeks, and again, there's the next question. Is it Mondays or is it Fridays? Which day goes away as a normal work day?
As a work day.
Yeah, because I would assume in our industry, we would follow suit with whatever the norm is.
Right. I would think so.
Yeah.
We want to catch you in your car if we can, or at home.
Yep.
On your smart speakers or online at 1079thefox.com.
I love the way it just kicks in, right? We're trained. We're like robots.
Yeah, trained monkeys.
This is the Fox Morning Show.
Now, here's what's trending on 107.9 The Fox.
So we're not the only ones, us fans, that are just amazed by what Joshua Dobbs did by coming in and leading our Vikings to victory back there on Sunday. Not even knowing some of the players' names.
Yep.
I mean, that's how little he knew about this team that he was playing for. Right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, call him by his number, probably.
Yeah.
So not only were we amazed by that as fans, but so were a lot of experts in the business. Like, how did this kid do that?
Yeah, it was an amazing display on Sunday. That was just, man, that's something we needed. That was a shot in the arm that we needed. I mean, quick on his feet, man.
And so it was reported that our head coach started talking to him in his helmet.
Telling him, this is what you want to do. We're going to, whatever play they're running, he's explaining it to him in his helmet. That's pretty cool.
Well, here's what the coach had to say about it yesterday.
Like throughout the game when he was in, I would just look at the play clock, get the call into him, whether it was a full call or a wristband call. I'd get the play in, and then I'd just watch him. And the second I saw them break the huddle, I'd start talking again. And just knowing that I might have 6 seconds, 7 seconds, in some cases less than that, just to give him whatever pertinent information I thought. It wasn't always clean. It wasn't always pretty. It wasn't always exactly, what we want to be execution-wise, but it was enough to give a talented guy, a very smart player, a guy that's played a lot. It was enough to just give him a little bit of close the gap in those final moments before either he called for the ball or in some cases even after he gave that indicator if there was time on the play clock. I was using it. And like I said, it's one thing to do all that, Pat, but, for him to process, actually what I'm saying, hey, hold your eyes this way. You're working these two guys on your left and finish to these two guys on your right. Your back's going to be on this check down. Make this protection call. It was remarkable that he was able to process that and do that. And I think it's just, I want this to be about Josh Dobbs and the special thing that he was able to do. He probably would have been able to do those things even without me yapping in his ear all day. But, it's all a credit to him. And I think that's why you saw his teammates so freaking fired up about him and after the game. And they all know. And I use this saying a lot, those who know. And that's all that's important. And that locker room knows what Josh Dobbs did yesterday.
Imagine that. You break huddle, you just called a play, you told your team what to do, and you have no idea what that just meant.
Nope.
They know, you don't.
Right, yeah. So he's directing you. Plus, he tells you, I'll buy you a Frosty at Wendy's if you get this right.
Right. So in that 6 to 7 seconds, as you're walking up to get the snap, right, you're getting told, okay, this is what that play is now. Look over here, put your eyes over there, look for this guy over there. Oh, my God.
You got it done. And maybe it takes a smart guy like that to be able to process that instantly. I'd be scared enough to be able to do it, process it pretty quick, too. What? Left. Your other left, stupid.
That would be you and I, right?
That would be it.
Damn it. Yeah, and speaking of nicknames, some were calling him the rocket scientist when he got here. Others are now calling him the Pastronaut.
The Pastronaut. I still like Houdini. He's an escape artist, man.
And believe it or not, Josh Dobbs has been selected to lead a crew to orbit Mars in October of next year in 2024.
He's an astrophysicist.
Yeah. And so he's worked part-time with NASA. In fact, NASA gave him a shout-out after his great game on Sunday.
That's awesome.
Who is this kid, right?
Yeah. Who you got, Green Bay?
Well, for now, he's our quarterback.
May I have your attention, please?
What time you have to be at the radio station?
Like right now.
Like right now?
What is there, an echo in here?
So early.
So early.
We still got a job to do.
I get it, but why do you have to go so early?
Because it's called,
A Tuesday morning show.
So you see.
Morning is actually in the name.
Oh, right.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
It's showtime.
All right. And it's Tuesday.
Yeah, here it is, your Tuesday morning show. Yeah, on the Fox Morning Show. And our weather, not too bad. Today, maybe some rain, which is weird, kind of, right? This time of year.
A mixed bag up north.
Yep,
so
exactly.
I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. 41, the target high for this afternoon. Tonight's low in the 20s, and tomorrow, around 50. The rest of your work week forecast anytime at 1079thefox.com. We've got 36 at 7:05.
And on the 7th day of November, here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Governor Doug Burgum failed to make the cut for the third Republican presidential debate for Wednesday night in Miami. Despite falling short after making the first two Republican debates earlier this year, Burgum released a statement and brief video on social media. He said, "Skipping the next debate isn't going to stop us. I've been told it's impossible my entire life and will always beat the odds. They told me I couldn't build a tech company in North Dakota. We built $1 billion one. They told me I wouldn't be governor. We won by 40 points. The 5 candidates who qualified, Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Tim Scott, met the Republican National Committee's criteria, which included raising 70,000 unique donors, meeting a polling threshold, and pledging to support the party's eventual nominee." Fargo man is accused of the sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl at a home in Barnesville. Police interviewed the victim in early October. She told them 32-year-old Jessie Meyer had touched her inappropriately in January. The criminal complaint says when Meyer stopped, he told her not to tell her mom or else. During the investigation, Meyer denied that he touched her inappropriately. He appeared in Clay County District Court last week on a first-degree criminal sexual conduct charge. Bond was set at $200,000 without conditions, $100,000 with conditions. He's since bonded out, no longer in custody. His next court date, November 14th. A fire overnight damaged several garage units at an apartment complex in South Fargo. A call came in just before midnight last night. Fire happened in an area where Fargo cops say arsonists have been intentionally setting garage fires. It's unknown if this fire is connected to those arsons. The fire is currently under investigation. No other information is known at this time. New House Speaker Mike Johnson blamed the fall of Rome on gay people. Ridiculous, because it's because they let women out of the kitchen. There's a lot of holiday gatherings happening over the next 2 months. I'm sorry. But according to a new survey, people are most excited for Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, yeah? Well, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I am. I'm excited for it. A Friendsgiving dinner is second. Comes up close.
Okay.
In a resurfaced interview, that's the wrong one. Bon Jovi may reunite. They may even record an upcoming updated version of "Living on a Prayer" for their original fans. It's called "Dying on a Craftmatic." That's the new one.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to be good. And the New England Pats reportedly have a replacement in mind for Bill Belichick.
Oh?
Yeah, that's one big frumpy hoodie to fill, I'll tell you that. No matter what. That's your news for right now.
Yeah, the rumor is the Commanders are going to make a trade for him this upcoming offseason.
Think he'd like it over in Washington? Probably.
Right? That kind of a fresh
Less
start.
snow.
Yeah, right, for sure. That's your headlines brought to you by Next Blue of North Dakota PPO. Coming up this morning, another chance for you to earn an extra paycheck for $500 at 8:15. And are you annoyed when someone snags a fry from you without asking? That's kind of rude, isn't it? I don't know. You tell us. Leave your comment on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com. We'll have that great debate here this hour. Your sports Next.
5 seconds to go. Wheeler Thomas drives, kicks, Scumberg for the win. No good. Burke to follow. Good. It's good at the horn, and the Bison tie the game. They will send this thing to overtime.
Oh, and the Bison pull it out in a thriller at Western Michigan yesterday, 80-76 to start the season in the win column. Way to go, Bison. Yeah, as you heard, Jeremiah Burke tied the game with a putback as time expired in regulation. And then our Bison played some D in overtime, allowing just 2 for 9 in shooting, and they go on to win again by 3. They return home to host Mount Marty tomorrow at 7 p.m. Let's pack the shack. And if you can't, we'll have it right here on your Bison Nation station, not only on your radio, but also on your smart speaker, your smartphone, or online at 1079thefox.com. A great honor for a Bison football player, as well as Jalen Sundell will be playing in the Shrine Bowl. Now, that's been part of the NFL journey for 14 former Bison greats, and now Jalen Sundell can be added to that list. Of course, our Bison football team preparing to play their final home game of the regular season this Saturday up there at the Fargo Dome against Southern Illinois. Kind of a must-win at this point. We got 2 games left. This being also Senior Day because of it being the final home game. Veterans Day on Saturday. So they are asking for a whiteout. A whiteout for the Warriors on Saturday. Keep that in mind. And an update from our man on the streets, Ian, who was down there in Brookings over the weekend. He was successful on snagging that jackrabbit. So we've got a live pet we got to take care of now.
I haven't heard from anybody yet.
We might need some tips on taking care of a jackrabbit.
I've been looking stuff up.
Okay, good. Good, because again,
I know they don't eat straw.
The last time we talked to him, he said he was going to feed them hay.
Yeah, hay, not straw. Hay,
I don't
right.
think they eat hay, do they?
Nobody eats straw. It's for betting, but...
All right, in Viking news, it was announced yesterday, Joshua Dobbs will be the starting quarterback this Sunday against the Saints. Sean Mannion will likely be our backup because rookie Jaron Hall, who went out quickly in this last Sunday's game, will remain in concussion protocol. Nick Mullins, who was originally our backup quarterback, still ailing from some back problems. And, of course, our starter, Kirk Cousins, done for the season. So, jokingly, our coach said he would be the emergency QB.
Yeah? Well, we need somebody.
I don't think that was that much of a stretch. I mean, because at this point, because now our emergency quarterback, who was Cam Akers last Sunday,
he's done.
He's done for the season. The same way Kirk went out. An MRI confirmed yesterday he tore his left Achilles. So he's done for the regular season. Unbelievable. And if you missed it, again, our coach explained what he was saying to Dobbs in his helmet throughout that amazing game back there on Sunday. We'll have that coming up for you again later this hour. Meanwhile, Week 9 wrapped up last night with the Chargers knocking off the New York Jets 27-6 on Monday Night Football. Also last night, our Wolves whipped the Celtics 114-109 in overtime. Tonight, the Wild hit the ice. They'll be at the Islanders. And that's your Fox Sports. Again, that Fox forecast today with a high in the 40s and some rain on and off. Further north of here, if you're listening, you might get some freezing rain. Tonight, a low in the 20s, and tomorrow, around 50. All of it there for you to see in color and pictures and everything at 1079thefox.com. We've got 36 now at 7:15.
Coming up, are you annoyed when somebody snags a fry off your plate without asking? You know, it's a breach. We'll talk about it coming up.
Now, here's the Fox Morning Show
on 107.9 The Fox.
Hey, it's Farley, our afternoon guy.
Hey, man.
All right, question for you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just pretend here. You got an order of fries sitting there. You got a pizza, and you got some ice cream. Are you willing to share any of that?
That's why I got the fries.
They say that these are the top foods. These top 3 are the ones most people don't like to share. Fries, pizza, and ice cream. I find that weird. Like, I get the ice cream. Who's going to share ice cream, right?
Unless it's your beloved, unless it's my wife, I'll share an ice cream with.
Right,
right. Yeah.
One lick for you, one lick for her.
Yep. I like to watch her. You go ahead and take a couple licks.
But who doesn't share their pizza? Unless you order just a personal pan.
It's a personal pan pizza. Or one you found.
Or it comes down to one of those things that we've all experienced one time or another. No, I'm not hungry. I don't want that. Well, then guess
That's why
what?
I ordered the fries.
You're not getting any of this.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, though, because your wife's going to want that.
See, I have no problem sharing fries. Like, now, so if you order some fries, Dave, and I just happen to snag one, are you going to be pissed?
I would think you'd ask, but no, I wouldn't. Oh, no, I'd be like, oh, gosh, help yourself. There's only a couple, but no, please.
But would you be pretty pissed?
No, I wouldn't be.
Yeah,
I'd be creep about
He'd
it.
grab a handful off of his plate and throw them at you. There's your damn fries. Get off my plate.
No, that's okay. I was done eating anyway. Not at all. No, I wouldn't mind a bit.
I feel as if fries are one of those things that you genuinely share. Or am I wrong on that?
It all depends. It depends on who's reaching for that fry. It depends on the quality of the fry, right? If you get a good, nice, crispy, perfectly hot, great French fry, get your mitts off.
Well, dude, and they got that one that's 8 inches long, and you're like, oh, and then somebody snags it or breaks it snagging it,
right?
Or you got the person that's a habitual snagger. So there's always that. Now, once in a while, but you can't abuse the system.
So yeah,
you know what I mean? What's next? A bite of my sandwich?
Oh God!
Again, unless it's my wife.
Sure.
Yeah. Then
right.
A lot of times we'll share something anyway.
Lady and Tramp, that foot-long sub. I said,
You bet. That's how we met on Grindr.
You were there for a whole different reason.
You're listening to the Fox Morning Show.
Coming up next, Dave's Deep Thought.
107.9 The Fox. And now it's time for Dave's Deep Thought with your radio pal, Dave Jacobs.
On 107.9 The Fox.
I'm so tired, but at least I got the dog on the bus and let the kids out to pee.
Dave's Deep Thought.
107.9 The Fox. Now here's the Fox Morning Show.
107.9 The Fox.
All right, so we asked on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com, are you annoyed when someone snags a fry from you without asking?
A lot of good answers, and well, Josh says he's not big on fries, but don't ever take a wing.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother animal, right?
That's
a little different.
You pull back a stump doing that.
Gail said, well, it depends on who's touching my food.
Right.
Good question, Gail.
Yeah.
You want to know who's touching your food.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if it's your significant other, it comes with the territory, right, Gail? Yeah.
That's right. I'm not surprised by Greg's answer. A fry is one thing, but don't touch my beer.
Right.
If you know Greg, that makes sense.
But, he turns his head a lot, and his vision's not that good. So if you got a long straw, you can help him with that beer.
Absolutely.
Jason Myers says, yeah, because you have your own. Eat your own damn fries. Amy Jo says it's just food. Who cares? You can always get more.
There's always that, too. Tracy says, yes, it's almost always more than one. Then I try to slap the hand, and the fries fly. Then I start slapping faces.
Right, because now you've blown 6 or 7 fries there on the floor.
Tracy gets pretty violent. Don't touch her fries.
Yeah, she's tired of it.
Yeah.
Maddie Delaneva says, yeah, but she's my daughter and she's 3, so what am I going to do? I don't know, buy her some fries, Matt.
Yeah, come on.
Then start taking her fries, and then you teach her about taxes and stuff like that.
There you go. And she's only 3. You can wait with the birds and the bees.
Right. Jody says as long as it's not a stranger, it doesn't bother her.
Right. And Dan said, nope. So obviously no problem with fries, but keep your hands off my tacos.
Yeah. He goes on to say, keep your arms and legs away from his mouth and nobody gets hurt. I don't know what he's talking about there.
So, leave your comment on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com. Are you annoyed when someone snags a fry from you without asking?
What time do you have to be at the radio station?
Like right now.
Like right now?
What is there, an echo in here?
So early.
So early.
We still got a job to do.
I get it, but why do you have to go so early?
Because it's called
A Tuesday morning show.
So you see.
Morning is actually in the name.
Oh, right.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
It's showtime.
It's just the name. Why do we have to be here? It's just the name. Hey, you know why? Why do we have to go with the norm, Dave? Why can't we be a morning show that's on later in the day?
Because, I don't know. I'm all for it. If we can swing that, I can sleep in till, gosh.
I don't mind, especially in the summertime when we get out of here early because we came in early. But, now I'm like, it's dark when I go home.
Right.
So
pretty much. Dark when I leave, dark when I come home.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
Not quite dark when I come home, but yeah. It's,
all right.
It is what it is.
It is. Fall is back, though. That's the good news. I mean, our Fox forecast says rain today. And maybe some parts might see some freezing rain because it might be a little bit cooler to the north. But here in the metro area, we should be right around 40, even creeping into the lower 40s. Tonight, low in the 20s, and tomorrow pushing 50, man.
Not bad, huh?
It's all right there at 1079thefox.com. 37 now at 8:04.
Welcome to it, 7th day of November. Here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Governor Doug Burgum failed to make the cut for the third Republican presidential debate Wednesday night in Miami. Despite falling short after making the first two Republican debates earlier this year, Burgum released a statement and brief video on social media. He said, "Skipping the next debate isn't going to stop us. I've been told it's impossible my entire life. I always beat the odds. They told me I couldn't build a tech company in North Dakota. We built $1 billion one. They told me I wouldn't be governor. We won by 40 points. The 5 candidates who qualified, Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Tim Scott, met the Republican National Committee's criteria, which includes raising 70,000 unique donors, meeting a poll threshold, and pledging to support the party's eventual nominee. Fargo man is accused of the sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl at a home in Barnesville. Police interviewed the victim in early October. She told him 32-year-old Jesse Meyer had touched her inappropriately in January. The criminal complaint says when Meyer stopped, he told her not to tell her mom or else. During the investigation, Meyer denied that he touched her inappropriately. He appeared in Clay County District Court last week on a first-degree criminal sexual conduct charge. Bonded out, he's no longer in custody. His next court date is set for November 14th. A fire overnight damaged several garage units at an apartment complex in South Fargo. I think our fire bug is back. Call came in just before midnight last night. It happened in an area where Fargo police say arsonists have been intentionally setting garage fires. It's unknown if this fire is connected to those arsons. The fire is currently under investigation. No other info is available or known at this time. Elon Musk says AI will eliminate all jobs.
All jobs?
That's what he says. But he also said XC9D7 hashtag's a good baby name, so whatever.
Wow.
There's a lot of people getting excited about holiday gatherings over the next 2 months, but according to a new survey, people are most excited for Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, of course, yes.
A Friendsgiving dinner, it comes in second place.
I've always said, it's my favorite holiday because of the 3 F's. The, food, football, and family. Pretty much in that order.
Oh, they're going to say frickin' sleep.
There is that, too.
30-year-old dude in Florida led police on a high-speed chase Sunday. He was driving a motorcycle with fake plates that said McLovin. I love that guy.
Should have known, yeah.
In a resurfaced interview, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson said that he and his son monitor each other's porn-watching habits.
Whoa, weird.
My dad and I like to toss the football around, but, we're old weirdos that way.
Right. And that's not like...
No, that's no euphemism. That's just an actual pigskin.
Okay.
Out in the yard after lunch.
It's not code for something.
No, sorry.
Okay, good.
Taylor Swift has the #1 album in the country.
She does.
Yep, though I'm sure this is the last you'll hear of it since the media is loath to give any attention to young Taylor Swift.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And finally, the news site SFGate just did a big write-up on a long-standing rumor at Disney parks that people are so desperate to keep their spot in line at certain rides, they sometimes defecate right there on the ground.
That's nasty.
According to the article, it's true and happens more than you think.
What?
So other things Disney workers want guests to stop doing, asking Chinese kids in It's a Small World to hurry up with your next iPhone. Stop asking them that. They're children. All right, that's your news for now.
How do you do that in public? I would get stage fright.
I would think so. What do? You kick a flyer over it or something?
I mean, how do you just drop your drawers and drop a deuce right in front of everyone?
A handful of change? Distract attention?
What the?
Oh, no, change. Loose change, everyone.
I wasn't built that way. I just can't.
It's got to be an emergency.
Well, yes.
And if that's the case, I'm going on the steamer boat.
That's why they call it
That's why they call it the steamer boat, isn't it? That's your news for now.
All right, headlines brought to you by JDP Electric. There's only one place you should trust with your home electrical needs, and that's JDP Electric. Call 232-1991 today to experience the JDP difference. Coming up, your chance to earn an extra paycheck for $500. That next keyword at 8:15. Your sports schedule for today next.
5 seconds to go. Wheeler Thomas drives, kicks, Scumberg for the win. No good. Burke to follow. Good. It's good at the horn, and the Bison tie the game. They will send this thing to overtime.
Oh, what a thriller last night for our Bison, winning in overtime at Western Michigan, 80-76 to start the season in the win column. As you heard there, Jeremiah Burke tied the game with a putback as time expired in regulation, and then the Bison, they clamped down and played some great defense in overtime.
Got it done.
To hold them to 2 for 9 shooting. And again, they win 80-76 and will return home now for their first home game of the season to host Mount Marty tomorrow at 7. Let's pack the shack. Great news for Jalen Sundell of our Bison football team. What an honor. He'll be playing at the Shrine Bowl, which has been a part of the NFL journey for 14 former Bison greats, and now add Jalen Sundell to that list. Meanwhile, of course, our team gearing up to play their final home game of the season this Saturday against Southern Illinois. It's kind of a must-do-or-die situation for us here on out in our last 2 games of the season. Senior Day this Saturday, also Veterans Day.
Yeah, so it's a whiteout.
That's right, whiteout for the Warriors, all right? And I don't know, maybe do we bring our newly acquired Jack Rabbit to the game just to show Bison Nation what we did?
Well, I'm sure they would enjoy tailgating.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of crudité.
Right.
Snacks all over the place. Appropriate for a little rabbit.
We'll
not his fault he was born in South Dakota.
No. We'll talk to our man on the streets, Ian, tomorrow, who captured that live jackrabbit.
I'm sure it's sick of eating tricks by now.
That's another thing. We got to talk to Ian on how he's
raising this child.
Been raising this child, correct. Meanwhile, in Viking news, yes, Joshua Dobbs, the pastronaut or rocket scientist or whatever you want to call him, Houdini, as Dave has been
He's
referring
an
to him
escape
as.
artist.
Yeah. He will start this Sunday against, the New Orleans Saints are coming to town. So, and I don't know how comfortable you feel about this, but veteran Sean Mannion will likely be our backup because rookie Jaron Hall, again, will remain in concussion protocol. So, Joshua Dobbs, quarterback 1, Sean Mannion, quarterback 2, and maybe our emergency quarterback could be none other than our coach, who actually jokingly said that yesterday, because our emergency quarterback, Cam Akers, done for the season as well.
Yeah.
Another Achilles. Ugh.
That's the third Achilles in our team.
That's our Achilles, is our Achilles.
Jeez.
Isn't that the same? Yeah, that MRI confirmed yesterday he tore his as well, just like our starting quarterback, Kirk Cousins. So, what's going on? What's in the water?
I don't know, I'm not liking it.
No, me neither. So, Week 9 wrapped up in the NFL on Monday Night Football with the Chargers knocking off the New York Jets 27-6. Also last night, the Wolves over the Celtics, 114-109 in overtime. Tonight on the ice, the Wild will be at the Islanders. That's your Fox Sports. That Fox Forecast again today with some rain, maybe a mixed bag for some. High in the 40s. Tonight alone, the 20s. Tomorrow pushing 50. The rest of that Fox Forecast into the weekend can be found at 1079thefox.com. We've got 37 at 8:14.
And the easiest job in the world, your first keyword in the morning, coming up mere minutes. Stick around. Good luck.
Now here's the Fox Morning Show.
107.9 The Fox.
Dave, because I know it's kind of a complicated scenario or situation, but where are you again in the pecking order of all your siblings?
Not so complicated. The first litter.
The first litter.
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
It's my brother Bill, my sister Deb, my sister Kathy, and then me.
Okay.
Yep.
And then there was a whole nother litter after that.
After it was about the time I graduated high school is when Dad adopted 3.
All right.
When he married Deb and had 2 more with Deb.
So you were basically raised as the youngest.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, because
Okay.
I mean, my informative years, up until graduation, yeah. Right.
And for me, the exact opposite. There's actually some older stepbrothers and sisters, but I didn't grow up with them.
No, and you're the oldest of your brood, aren't you?
Right. So in our litter that I grew up with, I was the oldest with 2 younger sisters and a brother. And I bring this up because they say that some people aren't happy with their sibling placement. I mean, I don't know how you do anything about it.
I don't know. Is it mostly middle children? You hear them getting the poopy end of the stick a lot of times, or at least attitude-wise. They get looked over or forgotten. You're not the youngest, and you're not, the baby, and you're not the oldest, and those responsible. And yeah, so I mean, you kind of get overlooked. You're the flotsam and jetsam of the children. You float along with the stream, and I could see that. Creating some issues.
We have 3 boys, and I will say that it is the middle one who makes the most noise when it comes to his sibling placement.
He does. Does he actually complain about being the middle child? Yeah, Chelsea's accepted her fate. That's our middle child. But she's definitely marches to her own drumbeat, which I'm very proud of. But all my kids do, so...
Well, it says here that 21% say they'd want to be the oldest, again, which is what basically I was. 19% said they'd want to be the middle child, and 18% say they'd like to be the youngest, like you.
Yeah. How many of those wanted to be an only child, other than the only children?
Only 11% say that they'd want to be the only child.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd like that.
You can tell when you're dealing with somebody that grew up as an only child.
Oh, God, yeah.
Can't you?
My wife.
They don't like to share their toys. They don't like to share anything.
It took a long time before I had my wife realizing that, you know what? I share this bedroom with you, okay? So pick up, okay? You're not the only one sleeping in here.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.